Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. I'm here joined with Inti Campo.
Hello people, how are you today?
He's joining me to read through the comments, make sure that you guys are all having fun and enjoying yourselves, and looking for your questions that I will be answering at the end of the show. Today we're going to be talking about basically, are banks using Bitcoin as a wealth preservation vehicle? Or is there something else nefarious about this? What's going on? And then we're also going to do some Bitcoin TA and maybe answer a couple questions, maybe even a little bit of TA on your favorite altcoins. Who knows? But I'd prefer to just answer questions today instead of doing TA. So, but I might do a little bit. All right. Before we go on to the main topics, I want to. Inti has a few words to say before we go on to the main topic of today.
Yes, thank you, sir. As always, people, it's worth to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not a financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money on the market.
All right, awesome. So let's start off with Bitcoin TA. Wow, Bitcoin is up for the week. You can see, we can zoom in here and see that Bitcoin is ready to rock and roll. All right, it's partying time. It's party time. It's Miller time with Bitcoin. We've got it up at 9,500. It's actually broken out this level here, which I mentioned a while back. I think it was on Crypto that hey, we've got to break this last level here to really see that we're gonna make it above to the 9,800 level. And so we've done that. That's accomplished. Again, I don't know which video I did it, but I mentioned, hey, listen, the safest bet was to get in at the $9,310, right? Not the 10x, 100x trade that I was looking at. I said that it was high risk, right? Had to like move. You'd have to retry multiple times the 100x buy in order to take it up to 9,800, because it's not going to make it easy for you to get in on 100x. The easiest one was to take the larger trade, which we can show you here, which was this one right here, all the way up to like close to 10,000, giving you a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and that's the safest bet that you could have made after we broke out, right? So now what you got left? Well, you know what? I'm going to reserve what to do next for the trade for my Pandora's Wallet subscribers. I'm going to do a little video for them, telling them how to trade this next. But if you're interested in doing so, learning about how to trade this next, you can subscribe to Pandora's Wallet by going over to www.pandoraswallet.com and subscribe to a membership. You have until Friday evening, basically, to subscribe and for a discount price of 70%. All right, so I'm just looking closely at this, at the price action. Really think, okay, yes, I got some good news to tell everybody in the group. What is going to happen with the next over the next short term? I think, do we have like divergence here? Let's see if we do. Oh sweet, oh snap! No divergence on the hourly. That's awesome. That is so awesome. That means this thing is going to pop. And how to trade this? You could buy this here and you know, hope and pray. But you know what? The best thing to do is to make sure you have a plan in order to trade this, and not just a hope and a prayer. All right. Now let's go on to what's going on with the Bitcoin and the banks. Coincidence? Top 5 Swiss banks, profits up 34% after Bitcoin integration. Julius Baer, a top 5 Swiss bank, saw its net profit climbed 34% the first half of 2020, a period during which it began to offer digital assets like Bitcoin to its clients. Sweet. Awesome. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. This sounds great, but you know what? There is a negative side to this. Okay. Top 5 Swiss bank Julius Baer, which manages 427 billion in assets, accounted on July 20th that its profits increased by 524 million in the last 2 quarters. The bank most likely benefited from the increase in trading revenue throughout the US and Europe. Wow, okay, so let's go on to this quote. We earned 4.7 billion of net income in the second quarter despite building 8.9 billion of credit reserves. So that means that they had to put the money in the central bank to reserve as a reserve, because we generated our highest quarterly revenue ever, which demonstrates the benefit of our diversified global business model. That's funny. I would. This is good. This sounds good on the surface, right? But we need to do some more investigation, right? And see how they allow, if they really did earn money from the trading, which probably is the case, since Binance made like killer amounts of money just in trading of altcoin cryptocurrencies and digital assets. So it wouldn't be surprised. But question is, are they trading real Bitcoin? Or are they into, like Inti just said, cash settled? That's the real interesting thing that we need to look into. Now, before we go on, before we talk about that a little bit, I want to talk about U.S. bank regulators, right? Saw all the money that the Swiss were making and greenlight crypto custody at federally chartered banks. Yeah, they're making too much money over there. We want to get in.
This guy has no shame about anything.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember just a couple months ago saying that it was the worst asset ever. Stay away from it. It's a scam. Oh, you already know. And they saw that a Swiss bank is making money. Yeah, green light. Let it come in.
Exactly. For sure. Anytime there's money. Now, you're thinking, all of this sounds like a great thing. Now, so it says here, let's just read this quote. The OCC recognizes that as the financial markets become increasingly technological, there will likely be increased need for banks and other service providers to leverage new technology and innovate ways to provide traditional services on behalf of customers. Yeah, okay, buddy. You're going to take care of us, right? That's what you're saying. You're going to take care of us. Yeah, please. We know who you are. So, remember, right? We have something called the COMEX exchange or CRIMEX exchange, right? That allows you to benefit off of the price fluctuation of Bitcoin. But it's only cash settled, meaning that there is no Bitcoin being traded at all. You basically you buy a contract, right? And you don't have to put up all the money to buy a contract. And then if price goes up, right, you win, and if price goes down, you lose, of course, right? And so imagine if the banks, you were to go to your bank and say, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin. And they go, sure, buddy, just sign these papers here. You buy, and you agree that you can't take the actual Bitcoins, and your way you go. But you'll benefit from the price going up, for sure. We'll take care of you. You're like, yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah, which most people will accept. And that's a trap. You're not buying Bitcoins. I'm sure they'll get some Bitcoins, but you're not getting any, right? They'll definitely get some Bitcoins, but and you'll see some price appreciation. And they'll not lose anything on the price appreciation, because what they'll do is they'll take your cash and buy a Crimex contract. And so you're not affecting the price at all. Zero. So this way, I want you to understand that although we're going to see Bitcoin go higher for sure, just based on inflation, the majority of these banks will make sure that the majority of people who do buy into Bitcoin do not affect the price. So the only way you're going to affect the price is if you know it's not your keys, not your Bitcoin, and you go and take possession of your Bitcoin from the bank. That's the only way you're going to affect the price. So make sure you do that. And if you don't, well, you're just going to help a banker become richer. That's all. And you're not going to actually be participating. You'll participate, right? You'll see prices rise in dollars terms, and then you'll get your dollars, right? But you're not really you don't have access to the asset at all. Period. So don't be surprised if I turn out to be right when and the government goes, hey, you know what? We're going to help you out, right? When Bitcoin dumps, because Bitcoin, I bet you they're going to do something like this. Bitcoin's going to dump, or all assets are going to dump at the same time, right? All asset prices. And they're going to feel bad. They're going to say, hey, you know what? We always bail out all the rich people, so we're going to buy up all your assets at a higher price and give you a discount, so you're not going to take a huge loss. Here you go. Here's your dollars, right? And then they're going to actually keep the actual assets and reprice them higher, which that's exactly what they did with gold. Why not do that with actual all assets, right? So that they can control the price of basically everything. So don't, because I don't expect the United States government to actually default on their debt. I mean, that would be better for everybody who holds dollars, right? Of course. And most people believe in dollars, right? Believe that the dollars are real and have real value. And so if they default, well, anyone who has physical dollars or a bank that has a zero reserve requirement, meaning that they don't, not zero reserve, 100% reserve requirements, meaning they don't lend out your money. They have every single dollar on deposit. That bank will do extremely well, of course, because the value of their money would go up. But I don't see that happening, right? And if you don't see that happening, right, the only thing they can do is, inflate away their debt. And the fastest way to inflate away your debt is if you could just, buy up the assets and say, hey, here you go, here's your dollars, and oh, now you want to buy back those assets? Well, they're like 10 times the price. No, probably not 10 times, but still something like that, right? You've now lost a lot of money, a lot of wealth, and you didn't realize it. All right, so one more thing I want to talk about is Bitcoiners are not looking for a store of value. Goldbug Peter Schiff says, right? He goes on to say, I buy gold as a way to store my wealth, as a conservation place to keep liquidity, as opposed to keeping it in dollars or some other fiat currency. Okay, so when you store your wealth, right, basically what you're doing is you're saying, okay, well, I'm betting that the value of this will go higher, right? Because people will do what? Buy it. And when they buy it, the price is reflected based on the last purchased price, meaning what somebody was willing to pay for the asset at that very moment. That's what price is, okay? So if that's what price is, That's what price is for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is price, is the last price that you see right now, is what somebody's willing to buy it right now at the price. Okay. So in both cases, we both see, right? I see that Bitcoin, somebody's willing to buy it at a lot higher price. You're willing to see that somebody's willing to see Bitcoin at gold at a lot higher price. Peter is willing to see. So, are we both gambling here? I think so. Now you could say, well, Davinci, hold on. Gold has never gone to zero, right? And I would say, well, Bitcoin hasn't either. No, yes, it has in 2011, right? At empty Gox. No. That was actually rolled back, and it was like a hack. So nobody actually got Bitcoin at 1 cent back then. Well, Bitcoin was zero for a while. Yes, when nobody saw value, of course. But once it started to have value, it never went back to zero. Okay, fine. Bitcoin doesn't have a history, a long enough history to say that it'll never go to zero. True. And because Bitcoin is an invention, that means it has somebody can make something better. True. Those are all true statements, but that takes time, right? Between now and the time that somebody figures out something better, Bitcoin is now the number one. And that's going to take a long time because, hey, you know what? It has to be exponentially bigger. It has to be something that's better. So it has to be something that's way better, that everybody clearly sees that it's way better, and that it's a lot, and it provides an immense improvement over what Bitcoin can provide. So I really think that Bitcoin will continue to go higher, and it's the better preservation of wealth because it's just getting started. Gold's been around forever. This thing's just starting. So it has a lot bigger upside than gold. All right. So that's why I think Bitcoin is the better preservation of wealth, right? In the next little while. And I think in 18 months from now, right? Because it takes 18 months. Every single economist, everything I've read says that 18 months for inflation to take effect, 18 months for deflation. So we got an opposite effect, right? Whilst Bitcoin has deflated, right, in the amount of supply, the dollars are inflated massively. So you can see a huge dynamic coming in. Now, hopefully banks don't do a lot of scamming of people, but I doubt that because that's what their nature is. But if banks do give you access to your Bitcoins, and they actually have to buy the Bitcoins, oof, oh boy, my $1.2 million call is like a walk in the park. All right, Inti, with that said, let's get on to the question and answer period of today.
Excellent. So we have a super chat from yesterday from Mr. SPJ68. This gentleman says, I still have altcoin bags from last bull run that are 80 to 90% in loss. Does it make sense to consider these bags as lost and use the little lady strategy to at least win back some Bitcoin back?
Yes, that's the most intelligent thing you could do, is to write off the whole bags as a zero loss almost, and then start again. So what do I mean by that? So basically, you just choose a price that a base price, right, for your each and every single asset that bags you have of altcoins. It could be the last low. It could be in a moving average, like the 50-day or the 200-day, and that's the price that you're going to state that you got these assets at, right? And then whatever price that you state the price that you got the asset at, right? You start the little lady strategy. So you start half on a double. So to make it clear, right? Let's just bring up a chart of a particular coin. And then you can see what I'm talking about.
We could use purple carrots request to take a look at Digibyte if you want to pull up a chart.
Okay, sure.
That's also a super chat from Purple Carrot. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Digibyte. Let's see here. Digibyte. DGB.
Yes.
And so, let's just bring up the little. Oh, okay. So right here. So you could have said, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to take the 200-day moving average, and that's what my buy price is. And so I'm going to sell half on the double on that buy price at the 135 sats. So my sell order will be 270. And so you'd sell half of that at 270. Or you could take your buy price at 50, and then, hey, you know what? This price right here would be your first sell order right now. You'd sell it right now, half, and then you sell half at 500 is another sell order. So it's all up to you where you want to start your entry price for your bags, and that's how you would deal with it. All right. So next question was with Digibyte. Inti?
Yes. Excuse me.
The next question was with Digibyte, right?
Yes. This one is a super chat from Mr. Jaime76. And says, could you check AMPL?
No, the Digibyte question.
Oh, excuse me. I was just looking at, just taking a look at it.
Yeah, because we're at Digibyte right now. So you said you had a Digibyte question.
Oh no, Purple Carrots wanted you to take a look at Digibyte. That was it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, Digibyte, yeah, it's breaking out. You kind of missed the boat here. You can see all the W's, right? It's already starting to break out. Looks like we're going to explode a lot higher very fast. You can see that these are all the tops here. Once we break a little bit higher, that's it. This thing is going to probably double from here. And yeah, you can easily see the target of 500 sats walking apart from here. All right, next question.
Okay, next question. This is from Crypto Mainly. And Crypto Mainly asks, what are your thoughts on the daily Bitcoin broadening wedge?
Daily Bitcoin broadening wedge. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that, NT? What's a broadening wedge?
Neither I. Maybe I'm pronouncing it badly, but I don't think so.
No, it doesn't sound like it. I'm going to need some more information on what a broadening wedge is, because I'm not sure. But I'm assuming that he means that this, I'm going to assume he means this wedge right here. I think it's broken out, you could say, because if we take a look on a daily scale, we have long broken out of all the wedges that you could possibly draw. Right, so let's just see if we can draw another wedge right here. Oops, I gotta switch screens. And so if we were to draw this wedge, and let's just make this thing bigger with another color. You can see there's a wedge. This was a wedge here, and this one right here. We have to draw the other part of the triangle. So let's see here. Let's just say it was from this point to this point right here. We're like we went straight to the apex and then broke out. You could say, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's lots of wedges you could draw on the Bitcoin charts, and yeah, we've broken out and we're ready to fly higher. The confirmation, I think, is at 9,800 in my personal opinion. That's the confirmation that we're going even higher, And yeah, if you're in this trade, remember to just take half your portion of profits at the $10,000 level, not all of it, because this thing could go a lot higher, a lot further, and a lot higher than you think. All right. Next question.
Next question. This is from Alex Martinez Jensen, and he asks, do you think the silver and gold manipulation is close to be over?
Eventually, I think you have to wait until the collapse of the currency for us to see the end of the manipulation, because it's going to be basically like the tide going out and you can see everybody swimming naked, right, in the water, right? You wonder, and that's going to expose the Crimex, basically, and that's the only way to expose it, right? At this point in time, is with the tide going out and the dollar collapsing, and then people wanting their silver, and there isn't any, and it's going to show that this whole our futures market is just a fraud, one big fraud. Now there is an issue of media, of course. The media might not mention it, right? And only people like you and I will mention it, and there will be a few like bloggers mentioning it, but that's about it. And that's what I bet is probably going to happen, right? Because they want to continue that fraud for even after they get caught, and there is no silver for people to actually take possession of, or no gold for people to take possession of. So they will do whatever they can to preserve the fraud, so they can repeat it over and over again. All right, next question.
Okay, this one is from Jaime76. This is a super chat from yesterday. Thank you very much, sir. Can you please check AMPL so people understand this? AMPL, perfect money should be.
I looked at the chart recently, and I do not think you should purchase this. This thing's a really scammy coin. It's just up and down like a horse drawer. You can see it's manipulated. If you want to get some of this thing, wait for it to come all the way back down to the bottom, near the bottom, before you actually buy, and then get the pumps, and that's it. Just don't bother doing the 61.8, 78.6. It's total scam coin. You can see from the charts, and just look for the bottoms, look for the absolute bottom, and hey, you know what? It bottomed here last time. I'll buy that. That's it. That's all you can do. Don't even think about that coin. And that's all you should do. And remember that this coin is manipulated, so that means it's going to go to zero eventually, very, very, very fast. All right, next question.
All right, next question. This one is another super chat from yesterday from Mr. Derek Euchre. Sorry if I pronounce your name badly. The only thing this says is cro.x.
Again, I've looked at, you saw that I had Ciro pulled up before. Yeah, it's too high. It's already left the building. You can't get into that. Don't bother. Look for it to come back to 61.8 maybe, and then maybe pick up a small amount. Increase your amount you're buying at 78.6 and 88.6, but don't buy it up at these levels. All right, next question.
Next question. This one is from Angela Beat. And she says, hey Davinci, how are you? Do you really think this news about Banks custodial is good for Bitcoin? With Bitcoin, we are supposed to be our own banks.
Yes, because most people who are interested in Bitcoin, they just don't get it, right? So they don't understand it, and so they need to have somebody else, holding it for them. And then once they realize, once they have some, then they'll want to research on what it is they have, and maybe say, okay, well, I've got some of that, and then somebody says, okay, well, did you take possession of it? Do you have your Bitcoin? No, my bank has it. Well, your bank probably can run off with it, and it's so easy to withdraw. And let me show you, and I can show you on your phone how you can hold it on your phone. And they're like, oh yeah, and then they will go to the bank, and the bank will tell them, no, you can't have it. And then they'll realize that they don't actually have any Bitcoin over time. or the banks will collapse and then take their Bitcoin, and then they'll realize, well, oh, maybe I should take possession of my Bitcoin next time, right? One way or another, people will learn that they should take their possession of their Bitcoin, and then we'll see even a bigger spike in the price of Bitcoin when people actually learn how to do that. All right, next question.
Next question. This one has a lot to do with the last one, and this is from Kev Allen, and says, Davinci, I think multisig is the future for Bitcoin. Most people don't want to manage their own keys without recourse. Maybe multisig with bank and some other trust individuals of your choice?
Correct. Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. I was, as a wallet designer, I was thinking. I always think about ways to improve wallets, and I realized that, hey, you know what? Most people just don't want to take control and be their own bank, or they want somebody else to recover from their stupidity, right? Always. So how can the best solve that? And that's through both multisig and somebody else that you trust, right? Not a bank, but somebody else that you trust managing your currency for you, making sure that you don't lose it, basically. So by having some sort of third party individual that ensures that your like, for example, you have 3 people in the group, and one person is the person who wants to buy the Bitcoins and hold the Bitcoin, and 2 other people are making sure that person doesn't lose the Bitcoins. And so with that, with multisig, that's possible, right? And so the 2 other people, they're not going to be able to steal the Bitcoins unless they collude, of course, right? To steal the original person's Bitcoin. And that can be done. That's easily can be done, of course, and developed. I'm trying to develop that myself. I think that's a great idea, and I want to develop that idea and into something that's possible, that people can actually use, so that they don't have to deal with banks and managing their currency. All right, next question.
Okay, this is a super chat from today from Mr. Richie C. Mm-hmm. And he says, Mana is partnered with Samsung, Davinci. Can you do TA?
Mana is a cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's take a quick look at Mana. Let's see here. Minus Mana. All right, so as you can see, I have some Mana already, right? It's the ability to create magic Mana. I don't know if you guys play any of those role playing games with Dungeons and Dragons, but Mana was always used as ability to create magic and stuff like that. So you needed Mana. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, this thing looks ready to rock and roll. We've it's got a nice history. Been around for a while. Let's just see if Bittrex, because I remember I've seen this in Bittrex as well. Yeah, so and it bottomed, and it's slowly moving higher. The people are not leaving this space, even though price has been going down. People have been buying this asset, and you can see, look, it's constantly now it's sliding. Even though it bottomed here, it's been slowly moving higher and higher. So this is a very, very good sign that this coin has some sort of real potential for the long term. So yeah, I'm interested in learning more about this particular coin, because if it could come back a little bit, I think you should definitely get some. Should you buy up here? Probably not the best idea. It's not the worst either. And yeah, so basically, because it's like probably about the 38.2 from the W, because you can see the Wing action here, and then the breakout, and the breakout is right where the 61.8. So don't be surprised if this comes back to the 61.8 before it continues higher. But again, it's not the end of the world if you buy here and you use the little lady strategy, but not the best positioning. You might want to wait for at least a 38.2 pullback at 500 sats, right? But the 61.8 at 459 sats is the better choice. Alrighty. Next, let's just do 2 more questions and we'll call it a day.
2 more questions and we'll call it a day. Okay, and we have just 2 new super chats. The first one is from Robert Crick. Mr. Robert says, is today a great time to get into silver or wait?
Yes, it's always a good time to get into silver because silver is severely undervalued.
Even after the price spike?
Yeah, because if we take a look at what silver is doing, it's left the building. Where are you going to buy this thing at? Let's just take a look at the chart. Where are you going to buy this? Right? I mean, let's just assume if we go to the daily, right? You can see that we've already broken out. So that means the best choice you can buy this is maybe on a pullback closer to the $21 level. Maybe. Now, if I'm assuming you're not going to take a Crimex bet, right? Contract buy, right? You're not going to actually try to do a leverage buy. If you're not buying a leverage buy, right? Just cost average, right? Simply cost average and just buy whatever price you get, right? On silver. Now, if you want to load the boat, don't do that either. Just split up your money, right? And start buying on a weekly, monthly, right, or quarterly basis. And don't worry about the price because this is like an altcoin that will pump like crazy. You don't have to worry about losing your shirt because this thing can't go to zero, right? Silver cannot go to zero, period. All right, so you could wait for this gap to be filled, but man, it's hard to say if it's going to get filled, right? It's most likely should get filled. I wouldn't be surprised if it does come down, bounce off of here, then can continue higher. But again, will this be a fast move down here, and will you be able to time the market if you're just a person who's just buying the physical silver? No, probably not. So I really think you should just buy. If you're interested in buying, you should just get some.
Remember, no financial advice.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question, and we'll call it a day.
Okay, this is from Ali Al-Sharki. Sorry if I pronounce your name badly, sir. And Ali asks, "Hi Davinci, could you look at Zcash? Its halving is about 117 days from now. Glad to hear your thoughts about it. Thank you."
Zcash. Do you know what the ticker symbol is for that? Is it Z?
Oh, let me see.
I think it's ZEC, right? I'm not 100% sure.
It's SEC.
ZEC.
ZEC.
Yeah, ZEC. Yeah, same thing.
ZEC. I hate Z, C, and S. They always teach it different in school. It's not
exactly.
My fault, okay?
Exactly.
It's problem of the educational system.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. So yeah, Zcash is, I don't know. It's well, I guess it's not so bad. The wow. Look at that.
Oh, I want some.
It just went flat, man. Oh my. Let's take a look. Look at this, man. This thing is like mana, right? You can see we've finally bottomed, and then people started getting into this, right? And started buying it. And it looked like it wanted to pop. It failed, and now it's Wing out. Now it's slanting higher. Finally slanting higher after the cheeky W right here. So you can see. Well, I don't know if that was a clean W, but it was decent enough. But here you can see the rest of it just Wing out like crazy. So this has gone. This is leaving the building recently, and it may come back a little bit at any point in time. So be careful. But I think if it breaks this level here, let's see here. Okay, yeah. If it breaks this point, which is, let's see here, what level, what price level is that? That's approximately, yeah, and it has broken it. And it has rolled back already and trying to break it again. So that level is the 670,000 sats, 680,000 sats level. So yeah, I think it's ready to break. I think if it comes back to this line, that's fine. And I don't see it. I don't see it coming back to the 61.8 at this point. I see it going higher, breaking higher. And once it breaks this level, which is at the let's see here, approximately 750,000 satoshis, that will see it go into the parabolic phase and start the parabolic phase. So yeah, this thing has flattened out, gone lower, and you can see that I've gotten this near the bottom here. Almost at the exact bottom. Holy crap. And yeah, and I'm looking to ride this thing a lot higher. So yeah, definitely it looks like it's going to be a decent ride for Zcash. All right, well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating in this live stream. I will be moving my channel. I have a backup channel. Check it out in the link in the description below. Please subscribe to that. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button. Thank you all for hitting the like button and appreciate my channel. Thank you for your super chats, everyone. And finally, if you haven't seen the videos popping up, please check them out. Talk to you guys on Monday because I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow. Cheers.
Bye, people.